Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rabba Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. B'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'choleinu v'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rab Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rab Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lecho hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lecho hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. B'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'choleinu v'chol sha'ah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rab Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael.
Welcome to our Lador service this evening, and also our Bat Mitzvah for this evening. Yael will be doing Kiddush and Aleinu, but we're also having our sixth graders. There are more sixth graders, but of course they decided to go to the restroom right as we were starting. But they're going to be helping us lead the service this evening. But before we begin, everyone's had a week this week, so let's take a moment and we'll sing a nigun, a wordless melody, and so all you have to know is Yalalai. So I'll start off, and you guys will follow along. Yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, 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 yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai. Yallai, lalai, 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 yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai. Yallai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai, yallai, lalai, lalai, Yalla la 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 Yalla la 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 Yalla la 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 Yalla la 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 Ya la la ya la ya la la ya la la. We open up our prayer books, our Lador Shabbat prayer books, to the first page. Shalom Aleichem, as we welcome the angels in our midst. And I'm not talking about the sixth graders, okay? But they are angels, aren't they? Okay. You guys sing loud. Here we go. Shalom Aleichem, as we welcome everyone to our service this evening. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei elyon. Mi melech, Malachei hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei elyon. Mi melech, Malachei hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei elyon. Mi melech, Malachei hamlachim, Akadosh Baruch Hu. On the same page, L'chuna ranana l'Adonai nariya letzur yishenu. As we sing to the Lord, the rock of our deliverance, L'chuna ranana. L'chuna ranina. L'chuna ranina l'Adonai. L'chuna ranina. L'chuna ranina. L'chuna ranina l'Adonai. Nariya, Netzur yishenu, Nekadma fanav betoda. Nariya, Netzur yishenu, Bizmiro nariya lo. L'chuna ranina l'Adonai. L'chuna ranina l'Adonai. L'chuna ranina l'Adonai. L'chuna ranina l'Adonai. Shiru ladon 40 shana aku bedor v'amar to'e levavhem v'hem lo yodu d'rachai asher nishpati v'api im yovu'un el menuchati. On the next page, Psalm 96, Shiru ladonai shir chadash. We sing a new song to the Lord. And you guys and our sixth graders I didn't think this many sixth graders were going to come. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. You guys beat my expectations. They weren't low, but they weren't high. But I'm so excited to see all these sixth graders. Wow. It's awesome. You just made my night. All right, here we go. All right, so you guys, this is a call and response, so you guys repeat after us. Okay. Shiru l'Adonai. Shiru shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru Shiru l'Adonai. Shiru shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai baruch hu shemo. Basru miyom leyom Yeshuato. Shiru l'Adonai baruch hu shemo. Shiru l'Adonai. Shiru l'Adonai. Shiru shir chadash. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru. And on the same, right under there is Yismechu Hashemayim. Let the heavens be glad, and let the earth and all it contains roar in praise. So I want to hear some good roaring from you guys, okay? Here we go. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. B'tagel haaretz. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. B'tagel haaretz. Get those hand claps ready. Come on. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam me'umelo. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam. Yiram hayam me'umelo. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. Yismechu Hashemayim. B'tagel haaretz. At the end of Psalm 99, we say, Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu, the Harkot show. We exalt God and bow down at God's holy mountain. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu, lehar kodesho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu, lehar kodesho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Come on, sixth graders. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu, lehar kodesho. Romamu Adonai Eloheinu v'yishtachavu, lehar kodesho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romamu. And let's turn to page 3, the next page, as we welcome the Sabbath Queen, L'chadodi likra kala, B'nai Shabbat nikabela. And you guys will be, there's an easy part in the beginning where we sing the chorus. It goes like this. Lecha lecha dodi likra kala, B'nai Shabbat nikabela. Lecha lecha dodi likra kala, Pene pene Shabbat nekabe la 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 lecha lecha dodi likra kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekabe la lecha lecha dodi likra kala. Pene pene Shabbat nekabe la. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad. Hishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'liti la lecha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha Ki hi mekor ha'aberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha So ma'aseh b'machshavatechi La lecha dodi Likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi Likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha Kumitzeim mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha Vehu uyachamo ol ala ayichem la lecha dodi Likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela Yaminu smol tiferotzi Beyet Adonai ta'aritzi Ayarish bein partzi V'ni ismecha a'avenagi La lecha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela. We stand and we face the entrance. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala Gam b'simcha u'b'tzohola Tochemune am segula Boi chala Lecha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likra kala Pene Shabbat nekabela. Please be seated. Okay, we'll continue on the next page, the Psalm for Shabbat. We need another chair. Look at that. I got one right here. Boop, 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 boop. Do we need two more? Oh, we need two more. Okay, come on, Chase. Come on, Mia. Chase, Mia, you want to join us up here? Thank you. Chase, you want to join us up here? Or, okay. All right, we'll do it with that. Okay, Mia, let's grab a prayer book for you. You got one? Okay. We're on Psalm 92, the Psalm for Shabbat, Mizmor Shir LeYom HaShabbat. But we're going to start right where it says Tov. It's on page 4 at the top. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulezamer. Ulezamer. Ulezamer l'shimcha. We have an honorary 6th grader here. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot. Tov lehodot. You guys got to be as loud as Donovan. Ulezamer. Ulezamer. Ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Lehagid baboker chastecha. Be'emunatcha ba'leilot. Alei asor ba'leinavel. Alei higayon bechinor. Tov, Tov, Tov. Tov lehodot, Tov lehodot l'Adonai, ulezamer, ulezamer, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov, Tov, Tov lehodot, Tov lehodol Adonai. Ulezamer. Ulezamer. Ulezamer leshimcha elyon. Right under there, Tzadik Katamar. Tzadik Katamar yifrach. Ke'erez balvanon yizkeh. Shetulim behevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yavrihu Oreinevun beseva tishenim verananim yiyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai Turi below avlatabo. Yalalai, 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 yalalai. You don't need to know the words. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Even Rabbi doesn't need to know them. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Ya la la, ya la la, la 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 la, ya la la, la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la, la 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 la, ya la la, la 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 la. And as we end our Kabbalat Shabbat portion, we continue with our evening Mariv service, which begins with the Baruch Hu. We rise and we face the ark, 6th graders, and you guys are going to lead us in the Baruch Hu. And you guys start 1, 2, 3. Baruch Hu et Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed Baruch. Please be seated, and we'll continue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah poteh she'orim u'mavir yom u'mei v'layla u'mavdil ben yom u'vein layla Adonai tzevot shemo el chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Amariv Haravim. And we're on the next page, page 5. As the bracha before Shema, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchavta Torah mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Oltanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shogbeinu v'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'vrei toratecha u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem kayenu ve'orech yameinu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla yomam v'layla v'vadecha tasim imenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema, 1, 2, 3. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And our 6th graders will lead us in the Ve'ahavta. 1, 2, 3. Ve'ahavta Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivdecha v'veitecha Uvlechtecha v'derech ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם ובשעריך. And as the Israelites crossed the Sea of Reeds, they sang this song, Mi Chamocha. Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Chamocha Kodesh Norati Lod, O Seifele. Malchudecha ra'u vanecha, bokeyam libnei Moshe, Zeili anu ve'yameru, Adonai imloch leolam. V'ne'emar, kifad Adonai Yaakov, uge'alo b'yad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga Yisrael. And as we ask God to protect us and provide a shelter of peace around us, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim, ufros aleinu. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. In the English, shelter us. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things. Guard us from all harmful things. O Adonai. Keep us safe. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Ruby, do you remember? So we sang that. Whoever's been to Capital Camps always does that in the evening, right, Ruby? It's a great, great song. Yael, I'm sure, knows it too, right? I could see you singing, Yael. Possibly. Okay. All right. We continue with Vishamru as we rise. Sixth graders, let's sing it. Vishamru B'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam. Vishamru B'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam. Beini uvein B'nai Yisrael Oti leolam, Oti leolam. Vishamru B'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru B'nai Yisrael et HaShabbat Lasot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit. Ubayom hashvi Shabbat vayinapash, Shabbat vayinapash, Shabbat vayinapash. Bishamru B'nai Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. We turn to the next page, Chetzi Kaddish. Yael, can I invite you up to do Chetzi Kaddish? You know it. Okay. All right. Here, come here. She didn't know I was going to do this, but I love doing this to Yael because she's good with surprises, right? Okay. All right. Yitgadal.
Gadal v'yitkadash me'raba.
Amen.
Ve'almat yivrach kirutei v'yamlich malchutei.
B'chayechon uvyom echon uvchayedecho beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'yimeru yehesh me'raba mevorach le'olam u'lam me'amaya
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitumam v'yitnaseh v'yitadal v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha
Brichu
le'elam min kol birchata b'shirata
Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiram be'alma v'yimeru. Amen. Thank you, Yael. We'll continue with the silent Amidah. Either the words on the page or there's a paragraph right before it, a personal Amidah, or you can follow in the Hebrew afterwards on page 7, 8, or continuing on the top of page 9. Usei shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yase shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru amen. Kaddish Shalem on page 9. Yitkada v'kada shemei rabba, v'yamadi v'rakrute, v'yamigmakute, v'chaychona v'yamachon v'chay lechol beit Yisrael, v'galav v'zman kari v'yimeru, amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach, le'alam olam me'amaya. יתברך וישתבח ויתברך ויתרומם וינשא ויתדע וידלה ויתעלה שמרי קודשה לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעמה ואמרו אמן תקבל סודו נבדו כל ישראל קדם ובון נביא שמעיה ואמרו אמן יהי שלום הרבה מן שמעיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. I'd like to invite religious school director Moshe.
Just organize myself.
Yes, please. Do you want to use? Okay. You're going to walk around or just sit? Okay.
Am I going to walk around?
Yeah, I didn't know if you were going to.
That's a great idea.
Yes.
I could do a couple of dance moves.
You could do that.
That would be a miracle. Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
So, before I moved to Israel, I never dreamed that I would ever serve in any army, let alone one staffed by Jews, protecting a Jewish country that was barely 35 years old. But there I was, a combat soldier with poor Hebrew, who had up until then lived a very sheltered life in England. As you may imagine, celebrating and keeping the Chagim and Shabbat looked very different than what I experienced before. The biggest shock was the fact that no one I served with prayed in any traditional sense, except for the modern Orthodox soldiers. I was part of a Garin, a group of very secular American and British Jews, and although I felt a part of the group, when it came to observing anything remotely religious, I found myself feeling very conflicted. But I also knew that to join the Orthodox soldiers wasn't an option, as in Israel at that time, you were either Orthodox or a secular Jew. There was nothing that existed in between. Shabbat on base often felt spiritually unrewarding. As time progressed, I found myself often missing out on observing very much of anything. Almost 2 years into my army service, along with 4 other soldiers who were not part of my Garin, I was sent to an outpost between an Israeli town and a rather hostile Palestinian city. Our job was to create roadblocks and stop cars to make sure that no terrorists enter the area. As we drove up to our outpost with our belongings and exited the Jeep, I looked around for a small base-like structure to be faced only with a small old square building that turned out to be an olive press factory, which was in the process of crushing olives to make their rather pungent olive oil. The group of soldiers we were replacing pointed to the roof when they could see our puzzled look of disbelief and confusion. That roof was to be our new home for 2 weeks. As I climbed the ladder that led to the rooftop, I felt as though I had been transported to another world. On that rooftop was a tent with 5 beds, a fully working mini kitchen, which was exposed to the elements, barely covered by a tent covering, a bathroom, and a couch that was strategically placed on the edge of the roof, facing the street, and ultimately where the checkpoint was set up. Yes, it was a very bizarre setup. We received our orders and details were shared as the departing soldiers eagerly loaded their belongings onto their Jeep and drove away. We organized ourselves, so began our week on the roof of the olive press. The work was a mixture of dangerous soldiering and boredom. We slept a lot, cooked and ate, and got to know each other a little better. 2 of my comrades were Orthodox, and 2 were very secular. Everyone got along well enough as long as we did our jobs and behaved respectfully. However, there was an unspoken and uncomfortable atmosphere amongst us all. As the week continued, we all hoped that on Shabbat we would be allowed to go home to our families. On Thursday night, a message came over our radio that we were to remain on the roof. Friday morning, I was drinking coffee in our open-air kitchen when my 2 Orthodox comrades turned to me and asked if I would like to help them cook for Shabbat. As an avid cook who loved Shabbat, I was happy to help. We spent most of the day preparing, with my 2 secular buddies looking on curiously as we busily prepared a delicious meal, despite the meager army rations provided. When the table was being laid, one of my Orthodox comrades asked whether the secular ones would be joining us for a Kabbalat Shabbat meal, The answer was an emphatic no. "We have field food. We will sit in our tents and eat," was the reply. As time went by, I noticed that as the aroma of the food began to waft over our little fiefdom, my two buddies, who up until then were seated on their beds in the tent, began to stick their heads out more and more. Was it curiosity, hunger, or a mixture of both that made them slowly show more interest? I don't know. We must have asked them several times if they would like to join us, and although the answer was negative, there was more hesitation in their voices each time they answered. When the three of us sat down at the table and began Kiddush, our two pagans finally came out and sat at the table. Without saying another word, we gave them plates and utensils, and they sat initially with some discomfort on the edge of their seats until while we finished Kiddush and began handing out food. As the meal progressed, the atmosphere altered drastically until everyone was laughing, enjoying the camaraderie. We ended the meal with Birkat Hamazon, and when we began singing Zmirat, they actually banged on the tables and joined in. I had finally fulfilled my own dream of keeping Shabbat in the army. When I look back on that experience, the power of that memory exemplifies for me what it means to be a Jew. Regardless of whether we have different opinions or views of what Jewish religious practice means to each of us, it doesn't matter. If we don't speak the same language or even have the same education and background, it doesn't matter. If we have different political views and vote for different parties, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we are family. We sit at the same table, we eat together, we share the same history, the same struggles and hopes and dreams for the Jewish people. My rooftop experience took place over 30 years ago, but for me, it was though it had happened yesterday. I want to just say to our sixth graders, as I've known them now for almost 3 years, I guess, that I've taught them a little bit. It's been a real joy being in the room with them. They are a wonderful group of students, and we look forward to having them in the upper school next year, and hope they enjoy the rest of the sixth grade year. Shabbat Shalom.
I think for a dress rehearsal, this is going really well. Next week, when you come for real, right? I love watching deer in the headlights. It's just... You've just heard why Israel is so special. And I want to give you a different perspective as to why it's so special, which complements what you just heard. This is a true story because I heard it from the person who lived it. Has anyone ever driven on an Egged bus? You know what they say about Egged bus drivers? Egged is the bus line of Israel. You know, that the rabbis don't get into heaven, but the bus drivers do. And the reason for that is that when the rabbis speak, people fall asleep. But when the bus drivers drive, they pray. After the Holocaust, there were thousands of people who were displaced. They had lost their homes, and they had lost where they lived. And they were put into detention camps in preparation for going either to the United States or to Israel. And many adults had lost their children because they were separated during the war. So it happened about 4 or 5 years after the establishment of the State of Israel that this older woman who was an immigrant from Romania. Are there any Romanians here? Oh, good. I can say anything I want to. Any Hungarians? If someone wants to know the difference between a Romanian and a Hungarian, ask me afterwards, because I can't tell you now. She gets on the bus, and she's an older woman, and if you've ever been on a bus in Israel, people start talking to you. And she starts talking, and this is her story. She was separated from her son about 8 years before. And she hoped that he was alive, and more importantly, that he was well. And she'd been looking for him for the last 3 years. So she was literally getting on a bus after bus after bus and walking around the cities looking for him. And she's telling her story to all these people, and it's an interesting story. So they start asking her questions. And one of the questions is, what did he look like? Well, it was a long time ago. So she starts, I mean, think about it. If you had to be described by someone who'd never seen you before, his mother said, well, you know, he had 2 legs, two hands, 2 arms, but he also had some scars from when he was playing as a child. He had a scar on his arm, he had a scar on his knee, but he has also had a birthmark, a little birthmark about the size of a strawberry, and it was in the back of his knee. And the bus stopped. And the bus driver turned around and said, Ima. Do you know what Ima means? Mommy. The bus driver was her son. What are the odds that something like that would happen? And those are the things that happen in Israel almost every single day. We learn in Israel how to get along with each other sometimes. But we also see miracles coming. And these are the miracles that I hope that you will be seeing as well. At this point, we're going to invite our bat mitzvah from last week to introduce our bat mitzvah from this week.
We recite the Kiddush on Friday night and Saturday morning at home and in the synagogue because it expresses the holiness of Shabbat, a day of rest and of liberation. Chanting the Kiddush links us up to our ancestors, brings blessings into our lives and homes, and gratitude to God. Now, I would like to invite up Yael, who will become a bat mitzvah tomorrow, to chant the Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'yahava uvratzon inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehila l'mikra et kodesh, zecher l'tiyat mitzrayim, ki vanu v'acharta, v'iltanu kidashta, mikol amim, V'shabbat kodshecha v'yahava uvratzot hincheltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
We remain standing for the Aleinu. On the same page, we turn and we face the ark.
Aleinu v'shabeach v'adon hakol v'ateilah v'yoser b'reshit shelo asanu k'goyei haratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama
Shelo sam elkeinu kahem v'goraleinu kehom hamonam anachnu korim u'mishpachamim Lifnei melech malchei המלכים הקדוש ברוך שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ ומושבי קרוב השמיים ממעלה ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אחד הם מלכנו אפס זולתו כך כתוב בתורתו וידעת היום והשבות ולברך כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעלה והארץ מתחת רק נקבל לך אדוני אלוהינו לרומי רב בתפארת עוזך
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
This week, we remember the yahrzeits of Andrea Carol Baird, David Bubis, David Cohen, Lois Eisen, Belle Flatt Frischman, Abraham Genderson, Henry Glick, Fran Gloger, Jeanette Hornstein, Aaron Kimchi, Masliach Levy, Melissa McCormick, Marcia Resnick, Sherry Rodman, Neil Shore, Sidney Shine, and William Wisner. We mourn with the recently departed, the family of the recently departed, Bruce Benjamin. Will all those who wish please recite Mourner's Kaddish with me on page 11. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'olma tivrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'omei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmei dekudsha, brechu. Le'ela, min kol, birchata, v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechemata, damiran, bioma, v'imru, amen. Yehe, shlama, rabba, min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, huya aseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Just about 20 minutes worth of announcements. On Sunday at 11:30 a.m., the whole family is invited to the block party, which will be outside. There will be inflatables, crafts, and so much more. You can RSVP to our website. From 9:30 to 11, Sisterhood at Lake Needwood for a scenic 3 to 4 mile hike and some lively conversation. I'm not sure which comes first. See the Sisterhood newsletter for details. Rabbi Weinblatt has rescheduled his class from this Sunday for the 10th to 12th graders. We'll be able to tell you the new date as soon as it's been determined. This coming Thursday at 6 p.m., B'nai Boomers are invited to show off their skills at Quincy's Family Feud Night at Quincy's Bar and Grill Potomac. No admission. And the first round of appetizers is on the congregation, so make sure to order the most expensive ones. Please RSVP on the website by November 4th. There will be a special Shiva Minyan for all Yankee fans. And we will be serving a Shiva meal of crow. I see that there are plenty of people who are who can come to the gallery and say nasty things about the fans. At 7:30 p.m. on Thursday, November 7th, the CBT Brotherhood and I will be getting together for beer and fascinating discussion. One of the year's topic is going to be why the Yankees lost and why they will continue to lose as we go forward. You would never know that I am a Yankee fan, but I'm extremely sad. But it'll be Forbidden Torah, things the rabbis never wanted you to know. You can RSVP to the CBT website. Next Shabbat at 6 p.m., there will be s'mores and soldiers. That's two different things. The s'mores are what you eat, and the soldiers are whom you talk to, and experience the ultimate campfire treat and the joy of Havdalah with the community. On Sunday the 10th at 3 p.m., Stand Together, Unity, Strength, Resilience will take place in Washington, D.C. Hopefully more than 40,000 members of our community. It's a free event, but tickets are required to attend. See the link in the Igeret or visit the conservative USCJ website. At 7 p.m. on a week from Sunday, the Theater CBT presents Cabaret Through the Decades. Our cantor and singers from the local theater community join them for an evening of songs and desserts for all ages. All proceeds will go to our Augmented Security Fund. Tickets can be purchased on our website or use the link in the Igeret. And now I'm going to invite the cantor to celebrate our November birthdays with blessings and ultimately cake pops.
Cake Pop Shabbat. Not only is it called Lador Shabbat, but it is called Cake Pop Shabbat. Why? Because it's just cool, right? It's just a cool name that we've come up with. And who has November birthdays? Are there any November birthdays? Kiddos, any November birthdays? All right, Allie, come on. No, yes, no, yes. Allie just had her bat mitzvah, obviously, this past weekend. Any, okay, birthdays? Yeah, okay, come on. Oh, my God. Is it? We have two Ellies, right? Okay. All right, so, Moshe, you want to take the lead on this one? Oh, yeah, okay. So, and also before Moshe does, we have all our sixth graders. I just want to thank all the parents for bringing our sixth graders to this our Friday night service. It's just a wonderful that they're here, and I'm just so excited, like I said before, that they had a chance to help lead us in our service this evening. And as I was reminded by our Bat Mitzvah coordinator on the board, we're having a sixth grade retreat coming up in February.
We are.
Yeah, do you remember February something? It's a date in February. 21, February 21. So if you're interested, it's a retreat off-site, and we always have a wonderful time where we celebrate Shabbat as well as do different activities related to your upcoming Bar Bat Mitzvah. So please look for details coming up in the Igeret and in the scroll for February 21st. But let's get back to our birthdays. Please, Moshe.
Okay. So we have a couple of gifts for you. If you want to look through the bag and see what you would like, they're games. They're for slightly younger kids, but that's okay. You can always take something, give it to somebody younger than you, to your brother.
Yeah, it's like that, The Price is Right, where you have to pull in, you get a letter, and you're hoping that it's the right one.
And now we're going to sing Yom Huledet Sameach, right?
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
What's the date of your birthday?
November 27th.
27?
November 22nd.
November
22nd.
22nd and 27. Well, Mazel Tov, guys,
Mazel.
to your upcoming birthdays. And we'll conclude our service with the Don Olam on page, what page is it on? Anybody just yell it out. 12, thank you, Kevin. All right, here we go. Adon Olam, Asher Malach, B'terem Kol, Yitzir Nivra, Le'et Nasa, V'chefzo Kol, Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam, V'yacharei, Kiklot Takol, Levado Yimlok Nora, V'hu Haya, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם והוא אחד ואין שני להמשלו להכבירה אדון עולם בלי ראשית בלי תכלית ולא העוז והמצרע אדון עולם אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם והוא אלי וחי גואלי וצור חבלי ביצרה אדון עולם והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום מקרא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעת נשא וחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון last verse ביעדו אבקיד רוחי בעת תשען ויעירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא אדון עולם. Shabbat shalom everyone.